Hello, welcome to the TriathlonDan YouTube channel. Welcome to another day of triathlon training. You join Liz and I about midday, is it roughly?
Yeah.
On Saturday. Yeah, on Saturday, out for a long run. Now, we normally both like to try and get out on Saturday morning. However, life happens sometimes, doesn't it? And by that, I don't mean that I just stayed in bed. Unfortunately, we've got a poorly chicken at the minute, so our chicken's been to the vets this morning. My grandma would absolutely go mad if I told her I took a chicken to the vets, wouldn't she, Liz? Yeah. So we now have a chicken in the dining room at home. Not very well, so fingers crossed for Florence. But that'll just basically give me a free pass to have as many bikes in the house as I'd like ever in the future, because there's a little chicken in the dining room. But anyway, run time. Liz, what's the plan for this run?
Keeping it steady.
Yeah.
We've ran down to the Blackwell Trail.
Yeah.
It's raining. It's not meant to be raining at the minute.
I was going to mention that.
So it's a bit damp and miserable, if I'm honest.
Yeah.
But we're just getting a few miles done, aren't we? So.
Yeah. I've lent Liz an earphone, Christmas music playing, just having a good chat, just enjoying it, aren't we? Just getting out and getting some miles done. It's probably going to be, what, about an hour and a bit? I don't know.
Yeah, probably.
See how I feel?
The thing is, when we start heading home, we can either extend it or shorten it, depending on how we feel.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, so I wanted to answer a question that I got on a video yesterday, the day before, and it was about me planning and managing my run and bike training. Like, am I training for cycling, am I training for running, how does it work with coaches, etc. So James at Ride Harder sets my bike training, but at the minute I'm following the Ride Harder Winter Academy, which is by definition like a generic plan. It's a 16-week sort of periodised training plan, so I'm following that. That's in my training peaks like 2 weeks in advance, so I know what I'm doing with that. And then Matt, my run coach, looks in my training peaks and sees what biking I've got planned, and he'll plan his running around that. So like tomorrow, for example, my Ride Harder session is about 2 and a bit hours of endurance and tempo. Matt's put on the back of that a steady brick run, so it works together quite well. Matt has changed how he's operated slightly in the last couple of weeks, because I am guilty of changing my training around quite a lot. Not in terms of what it is, but more so when it is. Just because, as we said earlier, you know, life happens, doesn't it? So it might be that, oh, beginning of the week on a Monday, I've got a big run session to do, and it's absolutely throwing it down. But Tuesday's good weather, I'll move it around because of that. So Matt has this week sort of put me all my training on Monday and said, you know, within reason, plan it out yourself, because I guess he's putting thought into what days it's going to be, and then I'm just changing it. And so I get told off because of that, Liz. Yeah, so it seems to be working well pretty so far, and if anything, my focus is the run. So if I end up in a position where it's one session or another, I need to be picking the run. Anyway, we're going to get a few more miles done. I'll see you at the end with some sort of summary. So I've just come through a particularly muddy bit, and I was still jogging, and Elizabeth, what happened? Whoa. Yeah, similar to that. I very nearly, I'm not joking, I very nearly went over, and I was right next to going down a big ditch into that stream, like literally like half a foot away from. That was crazy. And there was a guy who was walking his dogs who just stopped till that's passed, so there were far too many people watching. Anyway, come on Liz, that was so dramatic. There we go, run done and dusted. Well done, Elizabeth. Thanks. Good work. Now, to say that Liz spends about 90% of her life absolutely freezing, whenever we run, within about a mile, she takes her gloves off and just carries them around.
I get warm hands quite quickly when I run. It's the only time I do get warm hands.
Yeah, so I'll put, yeah, you get cold hands whenever you put them on me in bed and your feet. Anyway, so I'll put the stats on screen now. 1 hour and 20 minutes, 7.83 miles, just over 10-minute miling. That was a real good zone 2 run for me. My average heart rate is 120 beats a minute, so that's not even like that's too slow. If anything, that's too fast for you for a steady run, but you haven't run all week, so you don't really need a super steady run, do you? So does that make sense? Anyway, I'm really tough for that. Another good consistent run. I've got another one to do tomorrow though, off the bike, my first one for months, so we'll see how that goes. And training is not done for today. Got a bike ride to do later, so I'm gonna get some chores done. Have my breakfast, and I'll see you there. Okay, so good afternoon. I'm on the bike, but it is actually the next day. I can't even remember why I didn't train on the bike yesterday afternoon. I think I had a nap and then just didn't make the time to do it. It's just one of those things. A late start meant that the afternoon ran away with me. Anyway, it's Sunday afternoon now. If I'm honest, I'm not very well. I don't know exactly why. My stomach has just been like in knots, like it's just been throughout all the night last night and this morning. It's just been aching. I've had exactly the same as Liz has done over the last 24 hours, maybe a little bit more than she has, but the same food. she's absolutely fine, so who knows. I've not had any like toilet issues, just like a gut ache. Who knows? Anyway, so I'm going to put my weekly training stats on screen now, and I'll talk you through them whilst I'm looking at them. So you can see my scales handily feed through to Training Peaks, my weight is across the top. You can see the totals there, so 10 hours, basically 11 hours of training. Training stress score of 596. So it's not actually that high training stress score for the hours, so it's a lot of easier stuff. Only one swim this week. I should be swimming tonight, but my stomach's a little bit achy, and they're not actually doing a swim set, they're just doing like a fun night because it's the last one before Christmas. And as fun as that sounds, I would rather go for a swim rather than, I don't know, maybe I'm just bar humbug. Anyway, bike duration, 7 hours on the bike, happy with that. A lot of it is easy, but I've got a couple of good sessions in there, so really happy with that. Run, this is my biggest disappointment, I think. I've been hitting 4 hours for the last 5 weeks, and this week's the first week I haven't hit 4 hours. I should be doing a 30-minute run off the bike today, but I'm just not going to be able to do it. Maybe this evening if I feel good, then I will, but I just doubt it's going to happen. I'm better, I think, just whatever this is, just letting it go and then picking back up tomorrow. Still doing 3.5 hours of running is a good week, particularly as there's a good interval session on Friday, which I was happy with. So there we go, yeah, 11 hours training. It's about half an hour more than last week. One more week at work this week, and then I've got 2 weeks off, so if I can do another 11 or 12 hours this week, that'd be good. If I can try and ramp it up over Christmas, that'll be excellent. So there we go, a little insight to my weekly training as well as the daily. Hope you enjoyed and got something from that. Hope your training's going well, and subscribe if you haven't already, and I'll see you tomorrow at 4 PM for probably some more swim, bike, run training. See you there.